What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Gym Floor. Today we're talking about why people may never make it to 10K months. We think in this day and age that 10K months are kind of like the holy grail of PT now. It's roughly 2.5K a week after rent and expenses. You're doing pretty good. You're in a nice, comfortable position. Used to be six-figure coach. Now it's 10K months. In Standout, that's actually our goal. We want to get people to 10K months in 30 hours or less per week, working with face-to-face and online clients in a hybrid model. Today, we talk about what you did to get to, say, $1,200 a week isn't what's going to help you get to that 10K month, and the things that are getting in your way, how you need to start looking at your business, at yourself as your role within your business, and changes that you need to make to get yourself to that next level. So enjoy the episode. If you're a returning listener and you haven't already followed or subscribed or done something, please help us out. That makes a really big difference to the reach of the podcast. Every time the followers bump, so do our numbers. So really appreciate it if you just hit that follow, subscribe, even a comment if you're on the YouTubes. That would be awesome as well. But for now, enjoy the episode. Saw the most wild thing on Instagram this week. I don't know how real it is, but I'm going to scare everyone just because I saw a headline.
Yeah.
They're introducing or trialing in some places, and I'm pretty sure the clip had a Kiwi flag on it, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's our way of absolving shit when we say stuff that might not be true.
I don't know.
Not sure.
That they're trying to introduce a CO2 emission limit on your food allowance.
What?
Yeah.
How would you do that?
So each food item...
So you can't eat beef?
Basically. So each food item that you eat can have by... I don't know how they would measure it.
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm just trying to come up with a list of highest emitting CO2
so
foods.
Basically beef and dairy.
Yeah, because the cow's farting, yeah?
Yeah,
Is that what it is? Yeah?
Yeah,
Cow's farting, right?
Yeah.
What are the highest emitting CO2 foods? Let's see what it says. Come on.
So basically bodybuilding would die.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's anything that's from livestock. So cows, sheep, goats, because of the methane from digestion. So them farting. The manure management and the feed product and transport of the goods. So beef is 60 kilo, I don't know, something CO2 per kilo. It's like 60. I don't know what that means, but per kilo, highest CO2 emissions. So, yeah, 60 kilos, lamb, cheese, beef, chocolate. No, coffee. Coffee's up there. Yeah, I'm fucked. Got beef, like beef dairy.
Yep.
Cheese, coffee, chicken, eggs. Fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy's cooked. So what would happen? You just have to pay more. You'd have to pay a tax.
Well, you're just not allowed, basically.
Oh, I just thought I thought it was a way of like just making you pay more because you consume more.
No, so it's food purchase. Well, they might, but it's food purchase tracking.
Yeah, right.
So they get grocery receipts, restaurant meal data, barcode scanning apps.
I wonder if...
So they've already started labeling food in
CO2
certain
friendly
countries of the CO2 per kilo.
Wow.
So, like, Coke is, like, almost nothing.
What, neutral?
Bread is really low. Like it's
CO2
just like,
neutral.
So it's basically just diabetes. Yeah.
So if it doesn't involve livestock or farming, because you'd have to think like, potatoes and shit would have tractors and...
Yeah. So notable locations. So the UK universities partnered to explore the labels in supermarkets. It's not enforceable.
Yeah.
EU's doing it farm to fork to track it.
Oh, so you reckon they're making people consciously aware of it so they change their decisions?
Yeah, and then in Australia, universities and food policy groups are researching sustainable diets and personal CO2 tracking tools.
Never.
Yeah, so I wonder if the real iWatch was just like, they're going to enforce it when really it's just like, it's going to be like the star rating thing.
They probably can't force it.
You'd hope not. We're having this discussion, like Amy and I last night, like, she's like, they'd never do that in Australia. Australia wouldn't allow it. I'm like,
if you can get a tax on it, I think they would.
Do you think that 5 years ago you would have said that they'll let us close the doors for 2 years and not go anywhere?
And then tax people who have investment properties to pay it back.
Yep.
Land tax.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah, so these trials are a first step towards climate-based nutrition policy, helping individuals, companies, and governments better understand the climate cost of food choices.
I don't know how true it is, but I saw
CO2 food taxes and subsidies, standardized eco labels, and national dietary guidelines factoring emissions.
Yeah.
So it's
awareness.
You're not going to have a passport. It's like you got your social credits here, you got your carbon credits here.
This guy eats so much, man. His carbon scores through the roof. So, he's just a walking liability for the environment.
Fuck. I was like straight away, like I'm fucking leaving.
You know what? I was thinking about that for the first time today on my walk. I was like, because I don't have a podcast at the moment because Fuad had a motorbike accident. He's a really serious one.
Fucking hell.
So I think
the last time I listened, he just bought the bike.
Yeah, he went on a road trip and he's hurt himself pretty seriously apparently. But he's recovering.
Yeah.
So anyway, I haven't been able to get just meathead out on my
boys.
walks. So I've been left with my own thoughts, which are wild.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it today. I'm like, what would it take for relocation? And I'm like, I think just like the constant, like if they keep progressing, like the tax for the middle class.
Yeah.
If they keep progressing the way they're going with just trying to squeeze, I'm like, there's got to be a point where Steph and I just go like, we've got to move somewhere else.
Yeah. Where would you go?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what would trigger it? So I think
you wouldn't go to Tassie because it's too cold, but they have the lowest taxes in the country.
Yeah, Tassie's rough, man. Like, no disrespect, but like, I think once you I'm not ready to go full quiet settle, and it's a real picturesque place and beautiful like that. It just feels like a weekend away kind of place for me.
Yeah,
I don't think I could settle in a place like that just yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I'd probably go.
So I have that, but I also have the city 45 minutes.
Yeah,
away.
I think I go like 2 hours. I think I'd live near my dad, probably like near the Gong.
Yeah.
Wollongong, like around that area.
Is New South Wales any better though?
I don't think it's much better, but
yeah,
I think the way Victoria's going, like I'm like,
yeah, I think the way you would lean politically, like you'd have to go to Queensland or Perth.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go and fit in Queensland.
What do you mean? We fit in great.
That's why I said
we went out for dinner.
That's why I said New South Wales because
southern New South Wales too.
It's the only place I can go and just slot in and just like blend.
Yeah,
it's the only place. Everywhere else is like, let's go.
Yeah.
But man, I must be I've hit that age. I'm old now because I'm like getting into like local fucking council politics.
Yeah,
seeing where they're like spending the budget and shit, and I'm getting like
so
irate.
It's just an old thing. It's just assumed I only care about this because I have a kid now.
Nah, I think now that like I have a mortgage and I'm obviously I had a mortgage when I was younger.
Yeah,
but
a bigger one.
I think because it was small and because we bought the house when we didn't have a lot of money, Steph and I, but then we both achieved this like huge career growth. So then it was just like, like this just comes out and we can just do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
This one's not like that. And then, like business owner, a bit older too, like you kind of work out the world and the economics and shit. So now I'm like getting right into it. I'm just like, why they're spending the budget on this and they're, doing this and, they're taking money away from here. And I'm like, fuck, like getting right into, and it's a bit stressful too. So sometimes I try not to, but it must be just a sign of age. So then I was just having that thought. I'm like, fuck, what's it going to take like for us to have to sit there and go, like, this doesn't work for me.
What would make you leave the country?
Because there's people there's people in America who move to Texas because they have like way better, taxes and just like, day-to-day life stuff. I'm like, where's that in Australia and what would it take for me to move there? Yeah. Because it's getting a bit crazy, I reckon.
So I've looked a lot.
Yeah.
In the situation I'm in. So I'd love to, first on the list was like move to Switzerland. Like that would just be like.
Have you seen those golden visas? Have you seen the? Oh, so this is how deep I've gone. So you can buy a golden visa, which is it'll give you privileges to live in that country. Sometimes you can be a citizen of that country as well. Sometimes some countries renege it. Like I think Malta just took the citizenship away, but if you have a golden visa, you can live there.
Yeah,
and then you can access the whole of Europe without like a passport, essentially, right? So a lot of countries will have them, but
they're just enough money.
Bro, they're fucking heaps. Like depending on which one. So I can't remember which one was the most expensive, but I'm pretty sure like a golden visa in like Singapore is like fucking $1 million, or
Right. Okay.
you know, in Spain it's like €700 or whatever. I'm throwing figures out wildly here, you know.
Yeah.
But so you can get these golden visas and
So I was like, Switzerland, been there, loved it.
yeah,
Cultural politics, everything like looks pretty good. But basically, because it's amazing, it's really fucking hard to get in, and you have to have a job.
Yeah, okay.
So I could still run the business.
I wonder if they have a golden visa,
but I'd have to have a job there.
Yeah.
So I was like, eh. So I looked at a few other places, and the best that I have been able to find across the board in terms of you can go there, have a still operate a business out of Australia, be welcomed into the country and get a visa and citizenship and all of that is Portugal.
Right.
And they
actually that's really popular for golden visa actually.
So the position of the fitness industry there sounds very similar to like 2016 here.
Yeah, I've seen even some of the gyms there, bro. Like, they're fucking mad.
So they're starting to open boutique gyms. Like, macros is just starting to become a thing. It's like the start of our evidence-based era there right now. Because I was like, okay, so maybe I'll just like market there and see what happens. And I was like, how much could I charge Aussie? And they're like, probably 60 a week.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go back to the 2017 pricing for online coaching.
Yeah.
Unless you sell to expats.
Of course.
Yeah. Because they'll value it. So it's interesting, man.
So how much is 250,000 francs?
I don't know.
So that's...
Just ask it. How many? What's that need?
So you would need that just to start your visa.
Where?
In Switzerland. And then this is a golden visa.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to do a business, or you could do a business investment program but you have to invest $1 million francs.
So it's 40 grand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, that doesn't sound right, because even when I looked at the Maltese one, it was like 40 grand to get the documents, but then I had to buy a house.
Yeah.
And then I had to make a donation to the community. Yeah. And there was 2 different ways to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it all worked out to be about $500,000 for Steph and I. So the first application's the most.
Yeah.
And then you can just like add your family members. And I think it's about €10,000 each.
Yeah.
So I fuck man, like ChatGPT knows everything about me, because I was just like gradually asking it about like my, because I can get a Maltese passport because I'm like a second generation Maltese.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about the golden visa, and they were like, this is perfect for your situation. You run a company, entrepreneurship and fitness. You can use this as all these tax write-offs. And they're like, you just need to get Steph a job. They called it Steph.
Yeah,
called it Steph.
Fuck.
And it's like, you just need to get Steph a job over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, and she can get a job in education speaking English, because they speak it as their primary language now.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Like,
yeah.
But and then it was like, you can access the whole of Europe for $500,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I could live there though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably not.
I've never been to Portugal, so I need to go and.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could live in Malta, but I could be wrong. No, like.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it was like Portugal, Austria.
Yeah, you can pick. Yeah,
and I think Poland.
Yeah, probably a little close to.
Scary times.
Yeah, a little bit close to me.
Scary times.
Yeah. Probably. I'll go the other side.
So ironically, for our honeymoon, we were supposed to go Switzerland, Austria, Poland, and down.
Then get invaded.
The day we were supposed to pay, bro, they crossed the border. So we're like, nah.
Yeah, fuck that.
So that's
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like that's just like the forgotten war. Like no, like
just don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that thing's still going. Like, yeah, it's a war.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy shit.
It's wild, man. And our whole honeymoon, it was on every TV at every airport, everything, all the time. Every foyer, every cafe.
It was like that for 2 weeks, and then the world just, then, I don't know, said celebrity did said bad thing, and let's put that on.
Yeah. Chris Rock got slapped.
True. Geez, 2 Will Smith
it's on my brain for some
it's
like
reason. 2 podcasts in a row.
Yeah. Coming for Jada today. Because I'm coming for her.
Ben woke up, chose violence.
All right, so we're going to talk about why most PTs never make it to 10K months.
Yeah.
And how to solve it.
Easy.
Because, that's the standout PT promise.
Yep. In less than 30 hours a week.
Yeah, 10K months, 30 hours a week, hybrid model.
Yep.
Online and face-to-face. So what do you think? How would you define a real 10K month coach? What does a week in the life of a 10K per month coach look like?
Yeah. A 10K a month coach will operate their business knowing that it's not just about serving their clients. It is about getting leads through the door. It's about making sales. It's about serving those clients. It's about keeping them. And then it's also about understanding, why they're staying as long as they're staying and why they've potentially left.
Yep.
So you don't do those things like kind of as they pop up or as you need them. You do them all the time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you be a 10K a month coach just being good at your job?
You can. You're just really fucking tired. And you can only do it, like how we talked about the, in the last podcast about
the training. Yeah.
Yeah, the guys that go to the gym 6 days a week for a month and then take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
That's the same scenario, but you don't take the 2 weeks off. You're just sad and tired all the time.
Yeah.
And then you just buy, because I know I did it. I worked my ass off and I had really shit systems and I made great money. And then I would just be so tired on the weekend, I would just buy shit to fulfill the void of me being tired but not having the energy to do anything else.
Yeah.
And then you go to my house now, it's like, why do you have 50 hats? Because I used to buy them to buy my feelings,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could do it, but there's just such an easier way to run a business,
I think most people will see a drop off. So what happens is you're good at your job, so you get clients, then you get too many clients, so you stop being good at your job, and then you lose clients. And I think most people live in that circle.
Absolutely.
That repeated kind of
It's not scalable
cycle.
Either. No one wants to just get to 10K months and be like, I completed it, mate.
I'm done, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't scale it. That would literally be the ceiling. Because you're if you just did the time for money,
even then,
you can't even squeeze anymore, though.
Yeah.
You can squeeze to that.
Yeah.
But you can't.
That's it, you're done. And I think the hardest part is if you get there doing that, undoing it's so hard.
Yeah.
So hard. I'm working with a guy at the moment who just hit 10, wants to get to 15, but just hit 10, has a little one, family, and I tracked his hours. He's working 55 hours a week.
Yeah.
Time to train, time with your family. There's nothing left, man. And then not only that, to undo it, there's so many, still taking cash, selling packs, fucking...
Yeah.
Can't block out time. No one's service is the same, so not everyone uses the app. Not everyone does a check-in. Not everyone does... So it's cool, so how many of your clients can we move online? Fuck, not many, because none of them use the system. Then it's cool, so we're going to move everyone online and then hope that we can reshuffle. It's really challenging if you drive there through grit to then fix it.
Absolutely.
And then you obviously have the fear, which obviously you experience too, with the change of online and all that kind of stuff. Turning people away when you're really good at your job and you pride yourself on being good at your job to then say, I don't take face-to-face anymore.
Oh. Yep. Identity crisis.
It's hard work. So a week in the life, I think the only thing you didn't... How I would encapsulate what you said is you would have a time of the week that you are the operator of your business.
Yep. So
when you're taking sessions, when you're maybe consultants in sales, you're doing sessions, you're doing check-ins. You're writing programs, you're writing diets. That you are being an operator. Most personal trainers are operators all the time. To get to 10K months, you need to be a business owner, and then you also play the role as the operator.
Yep.
So what that looks like, what does a business owner do? All the things that you said. So they're going to check all their data the start of the week. Our mentors call them KPIs, but it's we do a weekly check-in with our businesses, individually and as a whole, every single week. So what's the performance like in sales? What's the performance like in marketing, in retention? What's the health of the finance of the business? Actually sitting down as the owner, being okay, what needs to get done this week? And then what are my duties as, if it's just you, head of marketing? What needs to happen this week? Do you need to write a campaign? Do you need to get content out? Do you need to get an email out? What needs to be done for the business this week as the head of marketing?
Yeah.
And if you think of it like that, like you said, from a scalability standpoint, that's when down the road you can be like, well, I could get a VA to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
So then that frees up 5 hours of my time, whether you choose that to go play golf or be an operator more often if you love your job. So then you got the marketing, then you got sales. All right? You're the salesperson. The DMs, the booking the consults, the doing the consults, the closing, the onboarding. Okay? When are you doing that? I think the one we always leave out is the admin.
Yeah.
Because we
gets
get
done
taken care for us. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
So you also need to carve out time for processes, procedures, emails, excuse me, dealing with all that kind of stuff. So is there any other hats? You got admin, marketing, sales, operator, member care.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah. All the time.
Correct. And that's your weekly structure, not sometimes I'm looking at this, sometimes it's like you need a repeatable kind of play every single week. Nice. I like it. Why do you think most PTs stall at $2,000?
Because the way they got there, they think that that's the way they're going to get through it. So it's like what it took you to get to $2,000 a week isn't going to take you to 3, 4, whatever. It's like something's got to change.
Yep.
You know, you can we've spoken about it in the past, like you can grit your way to 100% grit your way to $1,000, grit your way to 15, probably 2's like the upper echelon, and then you're starting to feel a bit fucked, a bit tired, a bit fatigued, a bit like, can I do this forever?
Yeah.
So like anything above that, it's like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little bit of that like more mentality too.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just post more.
Yeah.
I'll just train more people.
Yeah, it's the default for everyone though. Like it's the default for everything. It's like something's not working, let's do more.
Yeah.
And I think we've always done more, and it's like sometimes that's not the answer.
Yeah.
Like we've moved the needle a lot, and then sometimes like we've made changes that haven't involved a lot of like manual work and effort that have still yielded the same net outcome as doing more work. So that is still a net positive.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have an example of that?
So if I just look at like the way we operate our business now, so there's just like heaps of systems, like even some staff we've brought in, people who occupy different roles.
Yeah.
So we might make net the same per year. The business might make net per year the same profit, but it's not you and I doing 70-hour weeks every fucking week.
Yeah.
You know, sure, there's times where we've got to dig, but there were times when you and I were running around and didn't know the difference between our head and our asshole because we were so fucking tired.
Yeah.
And we were probably making the same as we are now, if not actually most likely less.
Yeah.
So sometimes the system can yield you a net same outcome from the bottom line.
Yeah.
But it opens up 10, 15 hours of your life so you can maybe scale or, dare I say it, do other shit.
It's interesting coming from our backgrounds, and a lot of people I work with seem to be the same. There's almost like a guilt. I don't know if it's guilt or what it is. Maybe you can help. There's a feeling that comes with doing less that feels wrong.
Yeah, especially when it's yielding more too. Feels like you're a bit icky.
Yeah, like you fucked us a year ago, and we were playing golf on a Wednesday night, or 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
and you were like, "Are we gonna keep doing this?"
There's no way.
No,
but there was no way.
Answer.
There was absolutely no way because you had a kid. It's your fault.
Yes, that's on me.
The only reason it was solely that. It had nothing to do with our workload.
I guess you still go every Wednesday, right?
Yeah, to the driving range for an hour. Like, it's not the same.
But that stage for us, I feel like was a little bit challenging. Letting go to go into that stage was a little bit challenging.
I still kind of have a little bit here and there now. Because like you've got a structured day, and some of it's like an extra commitment, like to your family, right? Like I have a similar structured day, but then there's time where I'm like,
yeah.
So then sometimes I sit there and I'm like fucking pacing around the house, and I'm like I said to Steph, I'm like yesterday, I said like I completed all my tasks, did all the shit I had to do, and then I said to Steph, like I found work, and then just doubled down on it, and I said, like, I was feeling guilty about not having the work, so I found some. But then I said, when I found the work, I actually was really locked in and I produced something really awesome. And then she said, but that's why you did. She said, because you didn't have
18 other noises.
The space, like, occupied by all these tasks. She said you were able to sit back and go, what does the business need right now? What are the people in Standout need? What does Jess need? And I made an incredible fucking product. An incredible resource.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah.
So it's a hard. So when you use that example, it's like it's hard to get to do less and get the same thing. But it's like the benefit of it is like you have time to just use your actual creative mind.
Yeah.
To bring something of like extreme value to the business that you probably wouldn't have if you were really tired and overworked.
It's interesting when I spoke about putting my workload into chat and my goals, and it was like, you can't do that.
Yeah. Watch me.
It was right.
Nah, of course.
2 days later, fire. Fuck.
Yeah.
I was kind of working through it, and my opinion right now is I need to have no more than 30 hours of work commitments per week.
Yeah.
To allow for 10 hours of stuff. And if I can do that, then that's where I'm going to be in the sweet spot.
That's fair.
So if it's 10 hours that turn into like 2 hours of putting out a fire or the extra couple of meetings or whatever, extra sales, that's fine. But then there's all of a sudden there's 3, 4, 5, 7 hours a week of that stuff. So that's when the business just exponentially moves forwards.
Yeah. But we're just by default. I think maturing as a business owner, like you got to work hard, then you got to start refining systems and start building a really solid foundation so you can add more. I think the next level to that is actually trying to get net greater outcome doing as little as possible.
Yeah.
So that you have the capacity to manage people, to sit and be creative, to like be that visionary or that, that creator that's like, all right, we need this. This is what it's going to look like. Like everyone sees all these kind of cool additions to the course and stuff. Like that doesn't happen because you just like kind of one day just sit there and go, I'm going to do this. Like you have a thought, you then got to lay it out. This is how it's got to work. You got to battle test it. Then you've got to make revisions. Yeah. Like even everyone's like, oh, you guys are everywhere at the moment. Like that's not an accident.
Yeah.
Like it's planning, it's vision, it's whatever. So that only comes because we have the time to do it. Where if you're just always inside your business, you're too tired to think about that shit. And if you were to think about it, you're going to do it in like the most inefficient way because you don't have the brain capacity to actually give it any value.
Yeah. I consult with someone during the week who was had 10 online clients took 8 hours.
Yeah.
To do check-ins.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. So it's like that shit.
Yeah.
It's
because the default is more.
Yeah.
The default is you've got to give.
Do more.
Yeah.
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 So in terms of creating space, how important is, because we don't really talk about it because it's like the standard first-year business coach bullshit, but it does have an impact, and that's talking about pricing. So how much of an impact does pricing have on your ability to create that space?
Yeah, like heaps, because like everyone wants to feel valued, and they value by the numbers. They don't value by the bottom line.
Yeah.
So people are like, I got 30 clients, and it's like, cool. And then you got 30 clients paying you $40 a week. It's like you're making $1,200 and you're fucking working with 30 people. Like that's the trade-off for that is not worth it. Mm-hmm. But people like the idea of everyone saying yes to them. Where it's like,
and you're busy, so you'll appear successful.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, who's better off? Yeah. The coach that's got 15 clients paying $80 a week.
Yeah. Like
whose business is more scalable?
Yeah.
The one that kind of backs themselves to charge what they're worth and does less, and then learns the business skills and applies the systems and the marketing and the messaging to attract more people that are willing to pay 80, and then they're going to get to a point where they're probably charging more and doing less. Or the person that's just like living out of either fear or ego or a combination of both of those things and just charging so people always say yes to them, but they're like, how do I have this many clients and making no money? And I'm allowed to say that because I've been both.
Yeah.
Like I remember being at the gym one day And I was like, looking at I was like, how the fuck do I have this many clients and only making $1,100 a week?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this person's on this rate. This person gets this many discounts once they do 3 sessions. I'm like,
Ben fucking trains for free.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I shouldn't be giving this much effort and making this much money.
Yeah, I remember the gold tier, I think it was called, from the Phoenix presentation was $99 for 3 sessions.
Yeah, crazy.
$33 a session, man.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. So yeah, price is a hard one but it's not just. I feel like price is more, an internal struggle than an external thing, like a business thing. It's like someone doesn't have the confidence to sit there and say this is how much it is because they don't value themselves.
Yeah.
And they maybe aren't in a position to buy their own product because they have no fucking money.
That's so hard, man.
So I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like you've got to... You can't price yourself and join the race to the bottom.
Correct.
Like that's not a scalable mindset.
Yeah, because again, once you're there, it's so much harder. You've got 30 clients that aren't paying you enough.
Yeah.
Then you've got to make the friction to making the call to put them all up $10.
Absolutely.
It's way harder than putting your price up every 10 clients.
Yeah.
Have you found you lift withstanded every price increase you've done?
I don't know. I feel like I deliver a really high quality service, and I've always just not charged enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Because I think my pricing's gone up $40 in 5 years for online.
Yeah.
Just talking about online.
Yeah.
So I think each time, obviously, one of the big step was the app.
Yeah. That
was, I think, might have jumped
3
from
years
60
ago
to 80 or something at that point, or maybe 70 to 80.
Something like that, yeah.
That was a big step, and then, more recently was just like a time demand thing.
Yeah. My the clientele that I am attracting require a lot of back
Support.
and forth.
Yeah.
So I think that is an element of the service that has gone up, and that is obviously, the price is a reflection of that, along with like the goals.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you want said exceptional goal, you're willing to pay said amount. Yeah. And it's like, I only want the people that align with that.
Yeah.
Because like, again, price is a tough thing. Like, I don't know, we're not talking about it, just pricing today, so I'll be as quick as I can. But there's something with pricing that does attract a certain type of person.
Yep.
We talk about the gym all the time. I don't want to go to the gym that has $9.99 memberships. It attracts a certain type of person. They don't give a fuck about the equipment. Yeah. They go in there with their work clothes. They dirty the place. Like some of them are hostile.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that. I would rather pay $40 a week to go to the gym, which I know people would think is absurd. Think about the person that
everyone else willing to pay $40.
Think about the person who's willing to pay $40, values their fitness, is most likely respectful to others, is most likely a certain type of personality type, uplifting, encouraging, etc. So I would much prefer to do that. And I feel that the same thing happens when you price yourself a certain way. It's like, if it's too cheap, you won't get people who value the service. They'll fuck you around. They won't be committed. When we've done it, we sold online coaching for $20 a week.
Yeah.
And then one of our mentors was like, triple it or double or quadruple it.
Yeah.
And then,
80.
Went to 80.
Yeah.
And then we started making sales.
Yeah.
So there's just something
they didn't stay, but we sold it.
There's just something to that. Well, they ended up staying eventually.
At the time, yeah.
So, yeah.
So if we stay on the pricing thing, so I would say both of us got full books, were smoked come the weekend.
Yeah.
Both looking at the bank account going, the fuck. So the first thing we changed was putting pricing up.
Yep.
Where was the next step for us to start giving ourselves, moving towards, say, that 10K a month? What's the key inflection point inside that?
Was this like when we were... Fuck, I can't even remember the first time I made 10K a month. It's ages ago.
Yeah, or just like key inflection points in your business where that relationship for time for money changed. Yeah. I would say when we started systemizing things.
Yeah, I think when I knew I had to start taking days off from the gym to spend in the business. So when when we looked at like the perfect week and shit, and then I'd be like, I'm not working Monday morning anymore. Yeah. Then I didn't work Monday at all. Then it was Wednesday morning I didn't work.
I'm going to jump in because I think it was slightly before that you did programs early, but I think we started to systemize. Everyone did a check-in once a month. We did measurements and a review.
Yeah, fair.
We updated their program. It was like this is a system that people follow now.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like honestly, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because it was just, we had it from such a...
early. Yeah, it was like 18 months, I think.
I think that we take it for granted too, like, because I just forget. Yeah. Like, that's the standard.
Yeah.
So I don't even reference that.
Some people still don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's 15 years ago. So I think systemizing those processes, as it doesn't matter whether it was good or not, had a resource for nutrition that people got, had a resource for warm-ups that people got. Like, we started to be like, well, how do I just do this thing one time?
Yeah, correct. Started valuing our time better.
Yeah. I had a fitness test that everyone would do once a month. It was like a performance thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they'd do measurements, feedback, review. We'd do their monthly kind of fitness test thing, which was just a circuit workout that was timed. Just a WOD.
Yeah.
Trash, but worked.
Hey, whatever worked at the time.
Yeah, well, my retention was pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Well, you were able to prove that they were improving.
So then I think the next step from that was programming-wise, we implemented, like, we started to look at the website and stuff.
Yeah, more phasing the training and all that.
So we started building, like, all right, this is how people are going to go through. This is the training model. We actually put a training model in place.
Yeah.
Rather than, everyone had stuff, but it was, you just wrote it for the person on the spot.
Yeah.
We systemized it. That was a model. Then we went into, it was like, we didn't know we were doing it because we just wanted to do it for fun. But we started to create lead magnets within the gym through workshops.
Yeah.
And those like we had the muscle camp and the fat loss camp.
Yeah.
So people were coming through that, and that was just like generating so much business for us at the time.
Yeah, even the boxing and stuff.
Yeah, boxing groups, all of it was just, it was like all just leading into the main business all the time.
Yeah, it was like we were like following a business system, but we were just making it up.
Yeah.
Because it made sense.
We're just doing shit.
Well, it just made sense.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Head of the times, mate.
That was a big part. And then I think we went, all right, we helped a couple of guys in the gym that were really struggling. And we're like, okay, maybe scaling is the next step for us.
Yeah.
To be able to reduce time and increase our leverage. That was the big move for us.
We were elite organic marketers.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like organic marketing, we're really good at it.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that now.
And I think most personal trainers waste it.
Well, they don't value it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, we didn't have social media. Not the same way you do now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think coaches value it now because they think that they need
socials instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, social's organic marketing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just don't think it can be done inside their gym anymore.
Yeah.
It needs to be done through a screen. It's like, we always had that philosophy: get famous in your gym, famous in your hometown, then famous on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, that was the chain of events. Everyone's trying to get famous on the internet.
Yeah.
But then when they go to the gym, like, and you're like, who's so and so?
Yeah.
Or they don't know. Oh, they're just the PT at the gym. Like, they don't know them. They're good at what they're good at, who they work with, what results they get. It's like, you should be doing it the other way.
Caught up with one of the trainers from my gym a couple of weeks ago. He's running an event. He's like, oh, I've heard you've done some. I'm like, 20. He's like, what do you do? Like, what do you mean? He's like, I just see stuff, but I have no fucking idea what you do. What's your story?
Yeah.
I told him, and it was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just the dude that comes to the gym and trains and goes home, man. Like,
yeah, especially here.
I don't need to be that here.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, like, it's interesting thinking about that. And it's humbling to walk into a different gym and be like, no one knows who you are here, bro.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. If you're, I'm going to flip this. So you're at the $1,200 a week mark now. You want to double it, which is $10K a month.
Yeah.
What do you need to unlearn that got you to $1,200?
Unlearn. Fuck.
What things work to get you to $1,200 that don't work to get you to 2.5?
I don't know if they See, the thing is, I don't know if they don't work. I just know there's a better way.
Go.
Because you can just aimlessly work your way to $1,200, but you don't know how many like $1,200 looks like. So rather than answering that, because I don't know if I can tell you what to do to get the extra $1,200.
I was going to ask you that next.
So it's like,
so I'll jump in. So things that have worked to get you here,
yeah,
is getting leads from the gym,
relying
on kickstarts,
being spoon fed your leads,
just being reasonable at your job and keeping people. You can get away with not following up all your leads. You can get away with not marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably serving them and not thinking about your service and worrying about retention.
You can write a new program every time for every client. You can have no system. Your onboarding can be different. You can have variability to get yourself to 1,200. And it doesn't really matter. And you're just like, oh, I'm busy. I'm killing it.
Yeah.
You need to unlearn all of that to get to 2.5.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people only look at the dollar value. They don't look at like the people and the time and that this many people asking questions, this many people needing all these individual things. So you have to have a system. It has to be repeatable, and everybody has to get the same service.
Yeah.
Like there's just you just cannot operate any other way because it'll just eat you up.
Yeah.
And spit you out. Now, can I tell them how to get there now?
Do it. Get them.
So what I think is still part of what didn't get them the first 1,200 will still get them the next 12. Because no one really looks at, this is how many clients I have, this is how much money I charge for it, this is what the average client pays me. So if I need to make this much more money, I need this many clients to do this many sessions.
Yep.
So then that's what it looks like. Like no one reverse engineers the numbers. They just go into every week and go, I need to get more clients.
Yeah.
So that's like me going into every week just going, I need to build more muscle. And it's like, well, what's your program look like? How much protein are you having? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, what's the plan look like in order for you to build your physique and get more muscle?
That you can sustain over 52 weeks.
Yeah. So same scenario, take it to your business. If you need to make another $1,200, let's just say for argument's sake, it's $100 a session, you got to do 12.
Yeah.
The average person,
1.5.
works 1.5, so you probably need 8 people. So you convert at 50%, which is low as shit, but that's just because the numbers are easy.
16.
So you need 16. It's like if you book 20 appointments, 16 people will come roughly. To speak to 20 people, you're probably going to have to speak to like 40 to 60. To speak to 40 to 60, you're probably going to have to dial like, X amount. Yeah. So it's like you just got to run the math and then go, okay, this is what it looks like. So
the thing I'm going to add to that, people go on that run and they do that good for a little bit. And then we were talking about it in the standout calls this week. Turnover is natural in your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people just forget. It's like, I need 30 clients. When they get 30 clients, it's like, I've got 30 clients.
Yeah.
So people don't stay forever. So what you also need to work out
is the client churn.
How many sales per week do you need, or month, it's probably a better metric. How many sales per month do you need to maintain the client base that you have or want?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that. So that got added into the new data tracker as well. So when everyone puts their data in, and then they track their average client retention. So the only thing I've got to find a way to do is like look at active retention as well as like past retention, because you can't just like take like all these people left at 12 weeks, but you've got clients that you've worked with for like 62 weeks. So I don't know how to work that out just yet. So I think they're just going to have to do like a roundaboutish average unless they track it separately. But then it'll go through and give you a churn rate.
Yeah.
So it'll be like you need to get one person per week to keep. The thing I'm tossing with now is creating a growth calculator. Yeah. So then it's like, okay, so what does growth look like? Frame. Correct. So you either need to up all of this to get 3. So what does 3 extra clients per week look like? It looks like this.
Yeah.
Or you can increase your service and improve your client retention, and then that means that you might have one less client that you need to get. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. So I'm trying to find a way to systemize that. So someone can look at it, because there's going to be people who need to charge more but still have like a good client base. Like they're the retention's great. So I'm like, I need to go on the end of the spectrum where the service is good, but they're just not making enough.
Yeah.
And then I need to go on the other side where it's like they're just fucking getting people in the door.
They're falling out.
Yeah. And they just want that turnover. Or some people in the middle who are doing things right and they're just like, I just want more.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool. So if you want to sign 3 people up per week, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you got yourself to 1,200, good job. Because not everyone makes it there. That's like, you can kind of stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You can
well
stay
done.
alive there.
Getting over 1,000 and maintaining that is a really big milestone.
I feel like if you've gotten to 1,200, you have the raw skill set required. You already have the raw skill set required to be a 10K a month trainer.
Agreed.
Because you can obviously talk to people. You can obviously communicate well. You've got enough to get some sales.
People like what you're offering.
People are staying, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe you're getting results. So it's like it's shown that you, as a personal trainer and the things that you're going to need to do, you have it.
Yeah.
Now you need to learn to be a business owner.
Yeah.
And run a business.
Yeah.
And you can get it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. If you want some help, go to stcfit.com, check out our Standout PT program, where we promise 30 hours a week, hybrid model, online face-to-face, 10K months. It's doable. Bunch of our guys are doing it.
Yep.
We did it for ages. You just need the systems in place that we talked about today.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, comment, do something, make the podcast bigger, better. We're still, Jace was talking about being famous on the internet. I'm still waiting for that to happen. So that's on you. We need you to put the push button somewhere.
Help
please. All right. We'll see you next week.